Do you nerds ever feel like you don't know everything in Tarkov and they don't explain it ever? It's like you have to go find this magical troll and they'll tell you about all the tricks in Tarkov. Me too. Me too. I've got tricks for you. Get out of here, troll. Get out of here. What's shaking, nerds? Welcome back to another video, and today's all about veteran tips. So these ones you might not know, especially if you're newer or if you're intermediate, because Tarkov doesn't tell you a lot. And I've been taught these from other veteran players, or I've just learned this from playing thousands of hours in Escape from Tarkov. And even as a veteran, I don't want you to think you're not going to get anything out of this video, because you might learn a thing or two that you just didn't know before. So the first tip we're going to jump right into is tip number 1. And it's actually a classic old twofer here. So the first thing we do have to do, though, is we've got to make sure we break our legs first. So I was hoping that we'd black out our legs here, just like if you got into a really heavy gunfight, but we only broke them, but we can still use this. And I just want to show you how we're going to use this. So if you don't know, say you got into a gun battle, you used up a lot of ammo, you have a whole bunch of blacked out limbs, you have to repair them with either a CMS kit or a survival kit. At the same time the animation's going on for the survival kit or the CMS kit, you can reload your magazines also. So this is why I call it a twofer. So not only are you unblackening out your limbs and you're getting them to 1 health, but you're packing mags at the same time. So in case you do have to get into a gunfight really fast here, you're already ready with another magazine. Even though the IFAK animation or the slew animation isn't that long either, just to let you know, you can do this while using a first aid kit too. So if you want to pack, 5 to 6 mags while you're healing with an IFAK or a first aid kit, you can do the same thing. The next thing I do want to talk to you about is the Holosun tactical device. A lot of people use this to use the red dot against enemies so that when you're point firing, or aka hip firing, that's what a lot of you guys will know it as, but in this game we call it point firing, you're more accurate and the spread of bullets is actually way tighter. But here's the downside to using the laser. People can see you, especially if you're in some place like dorms where it's kind of darker and it's really obvious that there's a laser on the wall or pass by a doorway, so you could see that the guy's coming. So instead of using this, what I would tell you to do is you're going to press Control T with the same Holosun and you're going to change it to the IR laser. The only way to tell if your IR laser is on is by going next to a wall or a tree and it starts to glow red. This is usually used for night vision mode so that you can see it in the dark, but because we're in daytime, no one can see your laser glow because it's only meant for night vision. So this is a really good tactical move if you are already comfortable with point firing. If you just want to use a laser itself, there's nothing wrong with that, but I still do want to show you the benefits of using a tactical device on your gun. So here's without the tactical device on. The next one will be with the laser on itself, so you can see it on the wall. And the next one's going to be with the IR laser on. So with the red dot on, it was a lot better. The spread was a lot tighter. There wasn't much issue. Without it on was really kind of wild. And with the IR laser on, it was still a tight grouping. So if you do want to use any of these, just keep this in mind. It did go up vertically quite a bit, but I still think the grouping pattern is still really solid using the IR. Tip number 3 is going to be a quick one. It has to do with extract timer. Let's just say you're on a big map like Shoreline, you fought a whole bunch of people, you got a bunch of loot, and you went the wrong way to a wrong extract, let's say. And now the timer is counting down and you only have, say, 8 minutes left, but you know it takes about 7 to 8 minutes to even get to the other extract. Even if you do have your stuff insured, If that timer reaches 0 and you get called missing in action, you don't get your insurance items back. So what I would do is, if you're in the middle of a raid and there's only say 1 minute left and you don't know if you're gonna make it, drop all your gear. You will get it back in insurance if you do this, but if you have it on you and you get called missing in action, if it reaches 0 and you're not in an extract, you don't get your insurance. This is something I just recently actually found out and I was blown away by, so I wanted to share my knowledge with you because I think you should be blown away by it too. I had no clue about this. The next thing we're going to talk about now for the next tip number 4, is grenades. You guys might not know how grenades get thrown, but they do get thrown in a certain pattern. So they get thrown first from your pockets from left to right, which means the one on the left here is going to be thrown first, and then it'll go to the furthest one to right. So once we throw this one, that one was thrown. Now the next one, and the second one was thrown, then the third. So what that means is, say you put grenade, flashbang, grenade, it'll go in that order. Now in your rig, it goes from top left to bottom right. I know this isn't the biggest deal because when's the last time you had your rig full of grenades and it not be a meme run, but it is something good to note so that if you are placing grenades in your rig, to know where they're going to be tossed from first, or if you're tossing them from your pockets, where I usually do keep my grenades, I can do it in a certain pattern. So sometimes I do it grenade, flashbang, grenade. Sometimes I do grenade, grenade, flashbang. It's all up to you. The next thing I want to talk to you about is this ASVAL I got off a player. So eventually I did end up using this ASVAL, and even without a foregrip on it, it was shooting all over the place during the raid. And I was thinking to myself, that is so weird. And I looked at the stats after, and I was like, these aren't normal stats for an ASVAL, like 88 vertical recoil, 156 horizontal. That's way too high for this ASVAL. And one of my viewers said, oh, Geeks, it's probably folded. And I said, oh, no. Even though it doesn't have the normal stock on this gun, someone changed it, which everyone says you shouldn't, but someone decided to. It's not folded in the picture. And he said, no, go look at it. And I did. And look at that. It is folded. Now, if you look at the stats, there's 46 vertical recoil and 82 horizontal recoil. So even if the gun is folded, unfolded, it looks the same. So if you ever get an ASVAL with a different stock than just the basic one, make sure you always unfold it before you use it, because it can be folded. This blew my mind. I know it is a bug that they do know about, and they just have to get around to fixing it. The next tip is about face shields. So I just bought 2 broken face shields off the flea market. One's 8 out of 29 and one's 0.8 out of 22. And I was having an argument with Finest XI and Jesse Kazam, both YouTubers, both amazing streamers. And we were having an argument whether or not, if you repair them, if the face shield cracks do get repaired. I was saying yes, Jesse was saying yes, but Finest was saying no. And in a way, we were both right. So I'm going to show you why we were both right in a sense. So we're just going to go to the hideout and check how bad these cracks are. So for the first shield, top left corner. And now let's get the other shield on. Okay, that one's kind of middle right, but they both have significant cracks in them. So now let's go try to repair them. So they're both repaired. Now let's go into an offline raid to see if the cracks are still there or if they're gone. Okay, so the first face shield that's in the middle right, still there. Okay, let's change this one out and put the other one on. Still there, top left. Okay, it didn't get repaired. I guess Finest XI was right. Okay, let's disconnect and go back into the hideout now. Would you look at that? It's fixed now. The power of Christ compels you, I'm telling you. Even the other one's fixed. I don't know what it is, but apparently there's some sort of glitch that if you do repair face shields, make sure you go into offline mode or something first, put it into your backpack, put it back on, and then get out of that raid, and it will be perfectly fixed, brand new again. This is such a weird glitch, but it works. The next thing I want to talk to you about is crouching. So right now in the bottom left, you can see that there's only one crouch. Full or not full. Full, not full. Our character goes standing or just full crouch. But say we're behind these boxes and we want to be able to maybe shoot someone that's hiding in that corner. We can't get an angle on them. Well, if you didn't know, you can hold control, or you can hold C, and scroll wheel down, and you can adjust your height. And just to let you know, if you adjust your height, the first 3 ticks in the left, you will always go back to that in standing mode, where if you press C and then you scroll down, that will be your automatic crouch. So it stays with it. So if you want to go back to normal crouching, you have to C, scroll wheel down. But this is good if we do want to get that character hiding, say right there, and you know, he doesn't know we're here, but we got a good angle on him. This is a great play to make. Also, if you rather be up a little more like this, so you're not full standing, you can do that. It'll always bring you up to just a little bit less than crouching. We are at the finish line for all these tips. We only got 3 more left, but this one is really important. This one is about the flea market. It's very, very difficult sometimes to navigate the flea market, get your best bang for your buck. So I want to kind of help all you out with doing that. So the first thing I did was I filtered all the items by M4A1s so I can, you know, finally buy an M4A1, say. But here's the issue. The first couple of pages here are all trades. A lot of them are mostly trades, but I want to get rid of them because most of them are kind of bullshit. Like, you want 2 defuels for this? That's not worth it at all. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the cogwheel. We're going to press remove bartering offers. And now we've got them for rubles, we got them for dollars, and we got them for euros. But here's the other issue. Now we're just looking at the stock of the gun. And I want an operational gun. I want to be able to use it next raid. I don't want to build it or go through anything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hit this cogwheel again, and we're going to press show only functional items. This way, all these guns here, they only need either a magazine and some ammo or nothing at all. Maybe they do have ammo in them. You don't have to do anything fancy to them. If you want, you can put, like, say a red dot on there or something, but these are good to go. Now you can do the same thing with armor, and I'm going to show you what you can do with armor now. So let's say I want another one of these M1s. We're going to press filter by item. Now it's showing us a lot of busted ass M1s, and I don't want that. I want a good brand new 100 out of 100 M1. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hit the cogwheel, and where it says condition from, we're going to type in 100. And after we press OK, it's going to show you only 65 out of 65 M1s because that's the best they can be. You can do this with helmets, you can do this with armors, tactical rigs, you can do this with anything that has hit points like this that is armor. And these are little things that I think really matter in Tarkov, and especially with the flea market. It is very difficult to navigate with. So it is something that I want to tell you guys about and show you some of the tricks I've learned along my way. Also, just to let you know, these do stick around. So if we exit this, these will stay here. So if you don't want minimum condition, you can exit that. If you don't want operational weapons, you can exit that. But usually I always keep exclude bartering offers always up. This is something I think we all take for granted that we know how to do, and that is to change the server. So if you want to change your servers, all you have to do is before you launch the game, you're going to go into change server, and it's going to bring up a list of servers here. Now, automatically it's use automatic server selection. We're going to unclick that, and we're going to filter it with ping. So it's showing, because I'm West Coast, Seattle has my best ping time, you know, California 2, California 1, St. Louis, and it shows you the average matchmaking time. So right now they're all under 2 minutes. I don't believe that, but they all are under 2 minutes. So if you want, you can click all the ones that are super low ping, so you feel comfortable, you know you don't have a super high ping in them, and you can select those. If you want, you can only click on one, and then say you die in a shoreline raid, you can try to scav back in because you know you're only on the one server, so you will be on that server, and the chances of you scavving back in, pretty high. It's kind of a cheesy thing to do. I wouldn't recommend doing it, but there's your cheesy tip of the day. Also, you can only pick servers that are 150 ping or lower. So as you can see, they do change from time to time. So if you wanted to get into London, you could try to wait and hopefully it goes under, but most of the time, I would just stick with the good ping. Why would you want to go for like 150, 122? Just go for the low ping so you know your performance is at peak status. Not many people know this, but when you're at the launcher screen, there's also actually a leaderboard you can go to. So if you press this ratings tab, it'll bring up a website where I'll show you right now, where I'll drag it over here. And there's actually seasons in Tarkov. They haven't had one since June 17th, 2019. They had season 4, but they do have seasons every once in a while. I hope they have one soon because these are a lot of fun. So they have top 100 XP, they've got top 100 in kills, and here's the thing, you can also filter it by location. So you can go interchange, there's my boy Rookkale, there's EFT Sharptooth, both amazing streamers, and you know, both made it on the leaderboards. This does include scav kills too, but I just think it's something really cool. I know next time they do that, I'm going to be trying to hit top 100 in Shoreline. I think it would be really neat to see my name right here, and I'm going to quote you guys right now. I'm going to come in the top 20 of 100 kills on Shoreline. I'm going to call it right now. So it's something that you might not know about. I know a lot of people don't know about these leaderboards, and it's just something neat that they put on as BSG does for the community. So I do want to say thank you, nerds, so much for watching this video. It means so much to me. If you liked it, maybe think about giving it a thumbs up. Maybe think about hitting the subscribe button. It's up to you. I'm never going to pressure you. Also know I do stream 5 days a week on twitch.tv. I'm always there Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. till about 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And until next time, I will talk to you nerds later.